Okay, and here we are for the first game of our draft. These are some pretty mediocre starting cards. What I think I'm going to do... Okay, this does not become free, so this is not necessarily worth it. The Uranti obviously isn't good since the attack will go away, so I'm just going to Metasite this turn. The Uranti and the Colossus, just in case. Jetpack level 1 will do fine, so I'm going to go ahead and pass the turn, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm looking at probably Sentry and Riftlasher, though Shaman's not bad. Depends on what my opponent plays. Wraith. Okay, Technosmith is fine. We're already ahead on that. I'm going to put the Riftlasher over here so it can have some interesting options for where to move. I think the Sentry can also have its own lane. Actually, yeah, I think Sentry. I liked the idea of Shaman here, just so that I could drop a Riftlash or something in this lane and go straight at it next turn, but I think this is fine. Okay, unfortunately we do not have a way to move our Riftlasher around, so we will hope that it gets through. I wish that I had more burn damage spells, but we'll run with what we've got. Okay. Savant seems only okay given the mix here, but okay. I like Munitions Drone. I think that's probably going to get play here. And Volcanic Giants. Pretty nice. So I'll go ahead and fight there. Okay. So we may be able to get our sentries leveled up. Yeah, this deck definitely isn't as aggressive as I thought it might become, but it's definitely an interesting... seems like it's got interesting possibilities. 510 is not great stats for level 2, but the ability is interesting, so I definitely want to play with it. Okay, so I can use the Munitions Drone on my turn to play a creature, buff it so it can fight. Probably good to put the strength on War Charger, just because it can move around and keep using it. Also, it's got the defense to survive. So I could maybe throw that in front of an Avatar or a Battle Droid. Either seems relatively reasonable. And maybe just immediately move and eat the other one next turn. That's a good play. I don't like the card natural selection, but it was definitely used well here. Okay, so the War Charger on its own can fight the Avatar. I'm probably going to do that just so my opponent doesn't get too much damage on me. And I'll go ahead and get the Sentry out just because it levels well. Since this is definitely going to go to a longer game, it's important to play toward that. Okay. So we know our opponent does not have Necreum, which makes the Battle Droid a lot better. I wish I had known that in time to play it earlier, but we had a lot of things to pick from at the time. As it stands, though, War Charger's probably fine here. And then I can maybe drop the munitions drone to finish off this avatar. Okay, Hunting Pack is not terribly scary at the moment. Especially when it's a lonely Hunting Pack. Okay, get to keep working on that munitions drone. Okay, these are not ideal. Bruiser's fine on rank 2 like this. It's got okay stats, but none of this is really what I was hoping for. Could definitely jetpack the munitions drone to dodge around or whatever I need. We shall see. Could also Rifflash and jetpack just because then I'll be able to hopefully dodge attackers the next turn. But the question is, is it really worth all that effort? It is a bit better when I can probably Rifflash and munitions drone it and jetpack, but it's not 100% promise that I can get in even then. So we'll see. Okay, I do like the idea of using drone on War Charger and moving in front of Savant to buff it. Doesn't give me a great option for the avatar though. I could just buff it and then trade with the avatar, but that's not... It's not ideal. I think I'm gonna just come eat the Life Shaper Savant. That's kind of one of the scarier options. I'll also play Rifflasher. That's kind of a double threat because it makes my opponent want to answer both the drone and the Rifflasher. Which means that I can use Bruiser. I could just Metasite. No, I think I will go ahead and do the... How much is Jetpack buff? +3 attack. I think I will go ahead and give the Jetpack buff. Okay. At least I've got a Volcanic Giant here. Sonic Pulse may be okay here. I may be able to use that to shrink the avatar or something. But again, as always, depends on what my opponent plays. My opponent will probably play something in front of War Charger and Drone, but that leaves open to Rift Flasher, so we'll see. Yep. Hoping for doubles to block both. But thankfully, it looks like my opponent did not. Nope, did manage to. That's unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, these draws have not been great. Honestly, our deck is not amazing, and I did pick more picks just kind of for fun, but Okay, I cannot even throw Rift Lasher and Giant in front. Sadly, I don't think there's a ton better option here. I think I will Mystic just to get in a little extra damage. And then Giant to block something. Still not much of anything here. Okay, so it's not looking too good for game one here, unfortunately. Just these avatars have been a lot to keep up with. Maybe they're a little better than I gave them credit for. I didn't think that my opponent had... I don't know, it seemed like it was too mixed of a deck to do this well, but my opponent seems to be drawn pretty well, so maybe it's just more solid than I thought. Okay. This has been my first time drafting Tempest as well, so it is interesting to watch and see where it's going. If it's not, even if it's not going as well as I'd like. All right. We've at least stabilized, but we've stabilized at 1. This is not good with against a deck with so much trample. Pardon me. That explains also why the Savant is in here. Is the deck definitely seems more focused than I had previously guessed. My opponent will get 2 opportunities to use the Savant here. Okay. Do I like Rift Flasher more or a 2 defense War Charger? I think I'm better off getting in some damage this turn. I'm going to have to get damage in to win, and while it's unlikely at this point, you never know. Okay, so we've got our jetpack for a Colossus. We could go real crazy here. Sadly, it's only mobility 1. But it's less about the mobility and more about the being able to attack ever. Oh man, my opponent's got to get some life back. He's getting scared of this real aggressive comeback, you know, or it just eats the War Charger with bonus value. But okay, I think it actually is time to get the Sentry, to get the Colossus attacking. Silly as that feels. At least we've done a more respectable amount of damage in the last several turns. Finally drawing things that aren't level 1 helps, of course. Lately, I feel like the decks that I've been playing go into some of the higher player ranks, like 5 and 6, which is weird because originally I'd been playing much more aggressive decks. Okay, Colossus is probably our best bet to block one of our opponent's trampling creatures. That's it? That's not enough? Okay. So we're going to get to keep doing some damage. That's nice. Okay, gonna get this Colossus in the middle where he belongs. Get my other one on the left. I'm keeping these over here because those are the ones that I want to have mobility, so I want to have them have as much room to move around as I can. You know, we're probably not going to win this game, but I'm pretty happy with the comeback we've been making. This is +8 attack this turn. Alright, we can get in more incredible numbers. Gotta love it. Okay, so he's throwing something under the bus. Mystic in. Uranti is actually our best creature, so we're going to go ahead and use it to get some extra damage in too. Alright, opponent's down to 22. Unfortunately, this is not the best hand, but it does have a Fervent Assault, so we can at least move around a little bit to react to threats. Could potentially move the Colossus in front of a big creature in the open lane if one is played there. So our opponent did level the card that gives breakthrough, rather. Feral Instinct, yeah. Here it is. I was about to say, so it's totally possible that our opponent could go for this, which managed to beat us, but our opponent was down at 13. That felt less bad than it was gonna. So we lost in round 1. We'll get 2 more rounds in, and we can have some fun with our deck. We got some good cards, but definitely that was a pretty epic game. So can't feel too bad about that.